Hey guys, this is Robert. Now, this church you're looking at today is located in the Philippines, specifically in the town of Santa Maria. This church goes along with a collection of three others found on the island, but this one is known as the Nuestra Señora de la Ancian in Santa Maria. The other ones include St. Augustine, St. Thomas, and another St. Augustine church in Manila. This church was built in 1618 and progressively got larger until it was finally finished in 1714 and then remade by myself in the year 2013. Now, this church is the Baroque style, but this Baroque is a little different. It has a lot of Spanish influence on it, as you can see on the top fencing of this figure right now. Now let's look at my recreation and point out other Baroque style aspects. We're going to start by looking at the front at this facade, which is a projection from the face of the building, and ours happens to be in the form of an awning. And as you look up the face of the building, you notice a pointed arch that comes to the tip. And you would think that that arch would continue across the roof of the structure. But actually it doesn't. It actually flattens out and is abruptly stopped. This is a key aspect of the Baroque style, and I think you can link this a lot to the change. Baroque is all about change. I think changing the architecture deliberately really matches with the Baroque style. As you move further down the structure, we notice the oculus in the middle. The oculuses were very common in Baroque churches because it let a lot of light in, a lot of heavenly light in. It fills the room with a little bit of ambiance, and it gives the congregation and preacher a sense of godly presence inside the building. Now let's look inside this structure. You would show up for your service, and you would walk up to the front doors. The doors I left open because of showing that God lets anyone into his building, that he is all accepting. And as you step through this giant door, you go into the narthex, very large narthex. And this is the narthex table. You would pick up general church information about what's going on within the congregation and all that good. Next, you would go into the main wing of the building and notice right off the bat the dramatic use of light from all the way to the back corners of the building as it moves back to the entrance. Notice the torches alongside the wall to create a light, and the glass oculus, which brings in that heavenly light. And the light really doesn't only just play the role of being able to see, but it changes the color. From the outside, this church appears to be all white and marble, but as the light creeps into the center of the building, you notice how it doesn't appear white all the way to the back. It brings a sense of color to the building, which I really think is the most beautiful aspect of it all. In the center, we see our golden cross as we walk up to it. This cross doesn't only represent God's holiness, but it also represents the foundation of the building with our left and right side chapels, which would be used for very large services or very little services. This foundation is held up by these foundation walls and the columns located to the left and right, and also inside of the side chapels, more columns hold up the building. And I think the side chapels really capture the dramatic use of light. And also in the back, you notice the nave. The nave was a very key aspect to the Baroque style and is located on the three heads of the wings. You go in the front, and you notice the nave, which is made of glass for God's heavenly light to appear in. And behind that, or right in front of it, is a pool for baptism for adults, mostly infants, so they can get baptized not only through water, but through God's heavenly light. And in front of that is the altar with the radiance of light, showing that God's presence is forever inside the building. And this is the lectern or pulpit where the preacher would sit to proclaim his sermon to his congregation. The hollowness of the building allows sound to travel very far, all the way to the back, so everyone can hear the message of God. Now, those are the key aspects of Baroque architecture between the oval naves, the dramatic use of light, the facades, and the columns that hold the structure up. I hope you enjoyed this tour of this Baroque structure, and I enjoyed giving it to you. You guys have a great day.